Thanks for tuning in to today's edition of Business Daily, coming to you live from Seoul. I'm Lee Ji-yoon. Before we get started, let's first get a check of today's highlights. Korea is rapidly aging with its low birth rates and high life expectancy. We sit down with an expert to talk about how a graying population affects the Korean economy. The number 2 duty-free operator in Korea lands a new in-city business license, but the race is not over yet. These stories and more coming right up. With threat of a Grexit scenario now mostly out of the picture, the uncertainty that had weighed over the Korean stock markets has also left with it. While the worst-case possibility was forecast to have little impact on the Korean economy, an expert at Hyundai Research Institute said that exports to European Union nations in the near term will likely fall by 1 to 2% on a weakened euro. Now, after nearly 17 hours of marathon negotiations, Greek and Eurozone leaders arrived at a roadmap on Monday that would ultimately produce a third bailout for Athens to keep the country in the 28-member bloc. But it would require a tough set of reforms to be passed through the Greek parliament by Wednesday, including slashing pensions and liberalizing the labor market. Global credit rating agency Fitch Ratings has maintained Korea's sovereign rating at AA- this year, preserving the 4th highest investment grade for the country and holding the outlook at stable. Fitch said this reflects the country's solid macroeconomic performance like steady real GDP growth, along with low inflation and unemployment. Both Korea's ratings and outlook remain unchanged since September 2012. The agency revised Korea's growth forecast downward this year to 2.9% from its earlier estimate of 3.5%. Lotte supremacy in duty-free shopping could be on shaky ground, with one of the latest permits handed out by Korea Customs Service going to its number 2 competitor. And our Eunice Kim explains why the competition is so fierce and why the race is not over yet.
It's a $7.3 billion market, and Lotte Hotel is at the top. The bustling tour buses near Lotte Department Store's main branch are proof, shuttling crowds of shoppers from China and beyond. Lotte Hotel's share of sales from duty-free shops in the capital city more than doubles that of runner-up 호텔신라가. When you combine sales from airport outlets, it raked in nearly $3.5 billion last year in one of the few bright spots in Korea's retail sector, expanding 22% on year in 2014. But that shiny lead could be entering shaky ground, with 호텔신라가 winning a much-coveted license to run a new duty-free shop together with partner Hyundai Development Company.
We're going to attract more overseas tourists by building the world's largest downtown duty-free store with our competitive know-how.
It promises to revamp the group's iPark Mall in Yongsan District, vast in floor space with enough parking for 400 large tour buses and strategically located a stone's throw from one of the 2 KTX train stations that connect Seoul to the rest of the country. And the race is about to heat up once again. The licenses for Lotte's 2 in-city sites are set to expire by the end of the year. The open competition will accept proposals from competitors that fail to walk away with a license in the first round, all the more driven to have a piece of the booming duty-free market. Eunice Kim, Business Daily.
In light of World Population Day this past Saturday, the day focused on raising awareness of global population issues. We're going to take the time to look at what kind of issues surround Korea's population and society. Now, numbers show that the country is quickly aging, and by year 2060, Korea is forecast to become the world's 2nd oldest country. And this is something that's expected to have a bigger impact on the Korean economy. Take a look.
Korea is aging. After 45 years, the country will become the world's 2nd oldest nation, according to Statistics Korea. People between the ages of 15 and 64 years old, grouped as working-age citizens, are expected to take up less than half of the entire population. The ratio of those aged 65 or older will surge from 13% this year to over 40% in 2060. World-renowned economist Harry Dent estimates that households with heads aged between 45 and 49 spend the most money for an average family. For Korea, this age group will begin to fall sharply starting 2018, which experts predict will deal a blow to the domestic economy. How should Korea prepare for potential economic problems that could result from the country's graying population?
And to tell us more about this, Professor Yoon Chang-hyun of University of Seoul joins us in the studio today. So good to have you here with us.
Great to be here.
All right, so we've heard many times in the past how Korea will face an aging society. How does this all tie into the Korean economy, though?
Maybe I can use this example. And there is a profit center in the economy, the cost center in the economy. And if aging it becomes a big problem, then it means that the potential growth rate of the economy is declining. The aging people in over 65 years old need pensions, lots of Medicare cost. So it means that there is a burden to other people for paying the cost. So cost center is increasing, profit center is decreasing. Then it means that generally it becomes a big burden in the economy.
All right. Well, are Korea's financial authorities discussing this problem of a graying population? I mean, do they see this as a serious challenge in years to come for Korea?
Yeah, sure. And we are closely watching the Japanese case, and the Japanese case is a good example to us. And the population is about 120 million, and about 30 million are over 65 years old. So it is like 25% of the population is over 65 years old. And it affects lots of sectors in the economy, and especially the financial sectors also. An interesting example is the local banks, which are operating in rural area. And the parents are living in rural area, and children are living urban area. And if the parents who are living in rural area dies, then they inherit lands and houses to the children. But the children just sell it over to the people and use the money, and they put the money into urban banks. So the size of rural banks and local banks are decreasing. Size of urban banks are increasing. So that affects lots of sectors in the economy, and we call it money move from rural area to urban area. Yeah, that is a result of aging. So it is a big problem, and I think it will happen in Korea in the same way.
Oh, well, let's talk a little bit about the age group, the 45 to 49 years old age group. According to world-renowned economic forecaster Harry Dent, he actually said that age group accounts for most spending. And he also said that Korea is going to see this group decline starting 2018, which is only 3 years from now.
Yeah, that he joined in the seminar held in Korea, and I had an opportunity to meet him, and he was right in pointing out that problem. Actually, the people who are between 45 and 49 years old, they are peak in their career. They earn lots of money. Their salary is very big, and they spend lots of money to education and consumption and other kind of things. But the number of people who are in this age group is decreasing. Then it means that the demand for products and demand for lots of things is decreasing.
Decreased spending.
Decreased spending. And it is a big problem in the economy because generally we need lots of internal demand for consumption and other kinds of products. But it is decreased, and it means that the demand itself is decreasing, then it means that our economy is shrinking.
But also, what areas would be hardest hit because of this aging society, in short?
Lots of things are affected, and maybe blue jeans, just to take an example, blue jeans, and it is preferred by young people, right?
Yes.
Even if some old people wear blue jeans, but not many, right? Yeah, generally speaking. So how about the powder, the dry milk? Yeah. So then the market size is shrinking already because lots of changes are going on, and people who are the producers who are living on that kind of production now should change their targets. So that kind of change is also increased. And one more thing is stocks. People say when you retire, you don't like stocks because the price can be changed a lot. Maybe you can lose money in investing into stocks.
A lot of fluctuations.
Right. So you just move your money from stocks to bonds and deposits. So some people say that when the size of the population who are over 65 years old increasing, then the price of stocks cannot increase.
Well, you mentioned a little bit before, but what other ways should the Korean government try to prepare to minimize the negative impact that the aging society is going to have on the Korean economy?
Yeah, one good advice from OECD is to prepare for the aging society is to make a good three-pillar system.
Three pillars.
Three pillars. First pillar is public pension, and second pillar is corporate pension, and third one is pension in the individual level. So those three pillars are well established, then it will make the bad effects of aging minimized. So public pension will help the basics of individual needs, and corporate pension will be another one. And if individual level, people are well prepared for retirement, then the burden to the society is minimized. So it means that Medicare cost can be paid by individual level or other pension also. So it means that we are well prepared for the retirement and aging society. So as I said before, make people well prepared for the retirement. That's the most and best strategy, I think.
Preparation is the key to minimizing the negative impact and also learning from past experiences and other country situations.
Right.
All right, thank you so much for coming in today, Professor.
Thank you very much.
And that wraps it up for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow at the same time, same place. Until then, goodbye.